Welcome back to the third hour of today as we continue our discussion following the killing of George Floyd and what it has meant to this country and personally what it means to us. We've given you the facts, but over the weekend, we've all been talking together, the four of us, and this is different. There have been other major incidents that have happened, but I don't think this has affected any of us in this way, and we just wanted to share this on a personal level. And Sheinelle, I was really taken aback when you and I talked, and you talked about you woke up crying.
Yeah.
Morning.
It was really freaky. Like, I can only think of maybe one other time when I've done that, and I can't even remember what it was. Maybe I was dreaming or something, but I went to bed. I didn't go to bed Friday or Saturday night, which night? I think it was Friday night or Saturday night, until 2:00 in the morning, watching the coverage, watching things burn. And then I popped up, it was like 6:00 in the morning. So 4 hours later, and I felt my face and I was crying out of my sleep. And I think just over the last week, it's just been so heavy. And when we're working, I kind of put myself in work mode, right? So I see the headlines, but I'm able to kind of keep it compartmentalized. Even if we're reporting, we talk about Ahmaud Arbery or whoever we're talking about, I'm able to kind of separate myself. But for the first time, especially on the weekends, and I can kind of decompress, I think it was just like everything hit, because we can no longer separate ourselves from what we're reporting. We're living it with everyone else. So it's been pretty tough for me, and more than I expected.
I think the part of the reason is, you talk about, work and separation. And the fact is, because of this pandemic and this quarantine, there's nowhere else to look. We are all at home. There are 40 million of us who are out of work. All of a sudden, there are no distractions. There's nothing, there's not work, there's not the next thing, the next tweet, the next whatever to distract us. This is here, and it's growing. And to your point, Sheinelle, it's everywhere you look. It's whether you look on your phone, you look on your television, it is there. And this feels so different than anything else.
And to that.
No, go ahead, Dylan. I'm sorry.
Sorry, I was just going to say to that point, Al, I have young kids, so I can easily not turn on the news. I can, like you said, you have other distractions, you have places to go, you have this birthday party to go to, but right now I think we are all so aware of everything that is happening. There aren't even those little highlights to your day that can distract you from frankly, everything happening in the news right now. And this is just, we're so focused on it. And I think, it's about time that we're all watching it to this point, and we need to address what's going on, and we need to absorb it as hard as it is. When it's hard, it's easy to turn it off and go on to the next thing, but we can't just turn it off and go on to the next thing. It's time to absorb it and process it and do something about it.
I do think, and Al, you alluded to this, when you've got, more than 40 million people who aren't working, that doesn't account furloughed workers, underemployed workers, people who are anxious about losing their jobs. And oh, by the way, yes, we're still in the midst of this pandemic. There's been an anxiety gripping our country for a few months now. And this is a manifestation of that anxiety. I think, and Sheinelle will appreciate this reference, I think it was Oprah who, and she may have been quoting Maya Angelou, I'm not sure, but hurt people hurt people. And there are a lot of hurt people. And I don't think that we should be so quick to discount some of the people who have taken to the streets, and their rage and their sadness it's bubbled over. And I think we should be very careful not to dismiss these folks who are protesting as, taking advantage of a situation, or no, these are, what scares me is I don't know what's next. Like, I don't know, when you have the death of an unarmed black man in Minnesota sparking violent protests in Salt Lake City,
yes,
and Los Angeles and Atlanta and Miami, and like, that's not, and not just a night, but several nights of it.
With no end in sight.
Right. I mean, it feels like we are like starting to come apart at the seams a bit.
You know, let's pick this up. We're going to pick this up on the other side as we continue on the third hour of today. Please stay with us. Welcome back to the third hour of today. And Craig, you were talking, and I think you raised an excellent point. The fact is, we don't know where this is going. It somehow has ripped this Band-Aid off, this wound that, you know, barely has been scabbed over. Because listen, my parents marched in the 60s, and here we are in 2020. And these people, what was different, almost a throwback to the 60s, is that you see an incredibly diverse group of people marching, black, brown, white, Asian. All these people they are angry, and nobody quite knows what the end game of this is.
And you know, it's interesting. I just moderated an event a few weeks ago, and we were talking about COVID-19 and its effects on the African American community. Because let's face it, that alone has been such a huge source of trauma for so many people. And it was a who's who, top experts in education and healthcare and economics. And by the time we were finished, usually when I moderate something, I can rally us all around. And at the end, I like to end on an up note. And for the first time in my career, I was struggling with trying to figure out how I could wrap it all up, because when we started talking about COVID and education, the experts were saying, listen, there are kids who are in buildings who don't have Wi-Fi, and we're talking about distance learning. Well, they can't log on to school. You talk about economics, there are people who are without jobs, and you talk about healthcare and poor diets, they live in food deserts. There are no grocery stores anywhere. So it just felt like so many things were being, dumped in my lap, and I'm like, okay, now what do I do with all of this information, right? So, and that was before, the issues of police brutality really came to a head again with cell phones. So that's always been an issue, but it was just like, I feel like that issue and seeing that police officer with his knee on George Floyd's neck was just the straw. I mean, we had all of these things that we've been dealing with for so long. And it was just, I think people are tired, and they're tired of being tired. It's just enough is enough. How much can you dump on someone's lap before they just go crazy?
And as far as, when we talk about our children, I mean, I've got an almost 18-year-old son, and I've had to have this conversation with him that if you're stopped by the police, you are polite, you're quiet, you just say yes, you say no, you don't get belligerent. He's a big fella, he's a big kid, and he takes the subway to and from school and from home. And I was talking to Craig on Friday. I don't breathe a sigh of relief until Nick walks in that door, because I am afraid of what could happen. He's in this New York City subway system, police officer, something happens. And I think this brought that to a head. And I know for you, Craig, you're talking about, how do you talk, you've got biracial kids. Yeah. And I think for society, they're going to see them as black kids.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. And Lindsay and I have had this conversation. I think sometimes people, unfortunately, they make certain perhaps assumptions. I'm a relatively young black man who's rearing a young black man living in the United States of America. Don't be fooled by the suits and some status. The number of times where you walk in a store and that
you are reminded.
Yes, you're constantly reminded. And we'd like to think that we live in some sort of post-racial America. And the reality is we're reminded time and time again that we do not. What's I think one of the things that's most frustrating is this happens. We have these conversations, people march, we pledge to do better, and then we move on. And we haven't healed, we haven't developed some sort of comprehensive plan to actually do better. And then lo and behold, a few months pass or a couple years, and then something even worse happens. I remember being in Ferguson, 5-6 years ago. And people were adamant that this was going to be the catalyst for change. And it wasn't. It wasn't. And I don't know. I don't know what it's going to take to affect like real change, because the reality is you can't legislate hearts and minds.
We're going to take a break, and then when we come back on the third hour of today, we're going to continue this conversation. Please stay with us. Welcome back to the third hour of today as we continue our discussion about what's going on in this country following the killing of George Floyd. Here's where I think this is a little different, and Sheinelle and even Dylan and I have heard from more white colleagues and friends. This is the first time this has happened where when anything else has happened, this time it's like they're apologizing. They are checking in. How are you doing? That's never happened before. And that's not a criticism, but I think this has affected everybody. And Dylan, I know you Brian reached out to Sheinelle.
And I want to speak to that because you guys are such dear friends of mine. We talk, we laugh, we joke all the time. I'm nervous right now, and I want to cry because this is the first time that I've been nervous to have a conversation with you guys, because you guys can look at me and no matter what I say, you can roll your eyes and you can say, you don't know what it's like to be in my shoes. And I want to say the right thing and I want to be your friend, but I'm scared I don't know what to say. And Sheinelle, I know my husband, Brian, reached out to you. I reached out to you after I watched The Mayor of Atlanta, just act as a mom trying to raise her son. And I think about you and your kids, and I want to say something and I don't know what the right thing is to say. And it makes me nervous to talk to you guys.
No, that is the right thing to say. I will say so. I didn't mention it earlier when I said I woke up with tears. It was because the night before I had the news on and I told Brian, Dylan's husband, and I hadn't talked about it. And so it was interesting because by telling Brian, it was like, I got it out and I realized maybe that's what's wrong. So the night before I had the news on, and we don't normally have it on at night, but it was just, I wanted to know what was happening. And there was the video constantly looping of the police officer having his knee on George Floyd's neck. And all of my kids can read. I have two fourth graders and second graders, or two second graders and fourth grader. And Kyan said, and he read the subtext and he said, what's going on? And I said, well, and like I was trying to, because I feel like they're already experiencing some level of trauma from being like away. So I wanted to insulate them. And I said, well, there was a police officer and he didn't do a good thing. He put his knee on a guy's neck and it killed him. So people are really upset. And I left it at that. And my husband said, it's not a guy. His name is George Floyd. Yeah. And I looked over at my husband. I'm like, oh, are we doing that? Okay. So, and then Kyan looked at me. They were looking at me like, you're not telling it. We've never had this happen ever.
You're not being a truth teller.
They looked at me and they were just like, your little mom answers are not good enough. So then I said, okay, everybody sit down. This is what happened. And I said, he put his knee on his neck and it killed him. And, and I don't know if I regret it or not. Maybe I do. Because then Clara goes, and Clara, well, why would he do that? Why would he put his knee on the guy's neck? And I said, well, Mom doesn't have an answer. And then my little guy goes, so it's because he has brown skin like us. That's why he's being mean to him. And then Kyan goes, so why are they being mean to people with brown skin? Are they going to be mean to me? I said, well, not all police officers are bad people. I said, just like you have people who don't do things right, and then they go, well, so then are they all in jail? And I said, well, and at the time they weren't. I said, no, they're not. Well, why? Well, if they did a bad thing, why aren't they in jail? The system has to work for everyone, because if it doesn't, it breaks. And I tried to explain that. And then, and last but not least, Clara goes, so what did the guy do? And I said, well, I think he had a $20 bill and it wasn't real. And they go, that's why they killed him? Why didn't they just put him in jail or tell him that if he does that again, he's going to get in big trouble? And then Kyan starts crying. And then when he cries, the other one cries. Next thing you know, I have 3 crying kids crying because they're afraid. And I'm like, guys, you don't need to be afraid. And they went to sleep crying. And I'm over here trying to come up with things to say. And, no, people, why don't they like us for our skin? I mean, it was just, it was really traumatic for me, for them. And like I said, I went to bed with such a heavy heart because it was like, we work so hard to keep our kids, send them to good schools, read to them at night. We do all the things we're supposed to do. Get Clara her Black Barbie dolls, get Kai his books about strong Black men. You want to build them up. But the world is the world, and it will strip away everything you've built them up with, and it's out of your control. And I think that is why I cried out of my sleep, because my beautiful brown children with their big brown eyes, I can't shield them from the things that happen.
Yeah,
and truth to talk about.
Truth. That is the truth. And we'll finish this up as the third hour of Today continues. Please stay with us. Welcome back to the third hour of Today. I've got 3 kids. My oldest is 33 and my youngest almost 18. And with each one of them, I've had to deal with them coming to ask me, why would somebody call me the N-word? Different feelings. And I think, it all starts in people's homes. And I think that having discussions, as Dylan talked about, there's nothing wrong with having the conversation as long as it comes from the right place. I don't think you can have a bad conversation. I think you just have to know that as long as you know the person is coming from the right place, there are no bad conversations.
Mm-hmm. And Sheinelle, I know you're at the point with your kids, just like Al and his kids, where you have to talk to them about it. Craig, your kids are still young enough where you're shielding them. Obviously mine are too. But I think what I'm doing personally is, I can't preach to someone else. I can't tell somebody else what to do or how to live their life, or I can't really say much to help the situation, but I know I can help from home. I've got my little bubble. I've got my husband, I've got, my kids, I've got the people I associate with, and I try to just show love, spread love, and just be in this loving environment so that as that bubble grows and Calvin becomes friends with other folks and, eventually he has kids, I can only do what I can do in my bubble. And if everybody just cared about their bubble and only spread that goodness within your bubble, it has to expand so that history doesn't repeat itself like it's doing from the 60s, so that it doesn't, I don't know. That's what I feel like I can do right now, is to just take care of my bubble with love and hope that spreads.
It's one of those things where I think it all starts, like you said, at home. And each time something happened like that, I said, well, obviously these kids heard it from somewhere, and they most likely heard it at home. So I hope that we can all realize that we've got our part to play in this, and that we, I think this is a different moment.
It is, but you know what, Al? I hope that we can figure out a way to harness this energy, because burning down your house because you're pissed at your neighbor doesn't do a lot to advance the cause, if you will. So I do hope that we can at least figure out how we can stop the violent protests, not the protests, but the violent protests, how we can stop those, because unfortunately that is starting to overshadow the murder of George Floyd.
I know personally, I am going to try to be as aware as I am already, especially in the news business, even more aware. We always tease Craig, he's going over to MSNBC, you've got 12 jobs, but I promise to zoom in a little more. When you talk about redistricting, or when we talk about voting, or when we talk about this law, that law, when we talk about economics and what legislation is affecting what community, let's pay attention, because we can all be kind people, but if the laws don't meet, it breaks again. So we need both. We need to be good people, and we also need the legislation to back it up.
We're going to keep our eyes on the prize, hopefully, and continue this conversation, and hopefully this sparks some conversations in your
I love you guys, and I'm so happy
you guys
we could
so
laugh
much
together and have frank discussions together.